First of all, I would like to call all keynote speakers on the dais. Uh, Chakit Swarup sir, please come on the dais. Avinash sir, please come on the dais. And Navinji, please come on the dais. I'd like to say all the participants, please give big hands to all the keynote speakers. Okay. Now, it's very high time. It's very high time to start the program with the starting with the lighting the lamp. I would like to request all the speakers, keynote speakers, and Dr. Vinay Kumar to come on the dais and light the lamp. Please give a big hand to them. Please, all the thank you, sir. Please. Thank you, sir. Please take your seats. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Vinay Kumar, the convener of IIHR, for the welcome speech.
HR Integrated Institute of Human Resource organized several conference, conclaves, training, and workshops for the benefit of the different organizations for the growth of human potential. IHR is the research-based holistic human development pursuit to the committed sustainable social economic development. It endeavors to convert each individual as an asset by the training, retraining, education, and human development process directed to the sustainable growth. Every year, HR organizes technology development conclave, HR conclave, CSR conclave. So this year, technology development conclave organized on 18 and 19 March 2023 at India International Center, Delhi. The theme of the TDC 2022 is the emerging trend of advanced technology for the growth of PSU. It's my great pleasure to welcome once again to all participants and delegates and a speaker of the Technology Development Conclave 2022. First of all, I would like to welcome Satish Saru sir. He is a famous technology expert and he has 26 years of experience of the IT services system development. Out of 26, 4 years in the USA and 7 years in the Ministry of the Home Affairs, Government of India, as a national project manager and architect of the ERSS 112 an initial ICJS design, is currently working as a big data architect in the UK telecom industry as the remote basis. He has been associated long time since 2021, sorry, 2009. I welcome to the Mr. Avinash Kumar. He has 25 year plus industrial experience of the engineering project and the plant setup and maintenance. Work with the Cummins India, Adit Birla, and currently working as a manager technical with the Japanese multinationals Mori Roku Technology India Private Limited since 2001. And key responsibility is the manager coordinator and sustainable development goals. Third speaker is Mr. Naveen Nirwani. I welcome to the Naveen Nirwani. He is a everything from the YMCA and the PhD in the operation management. And now is currently working as an associate professor in the IMS Ghaziabad. And he has published 13 research papers in the international journals. And the fourth speaker is the Dr. Jayaprakash Narayan. He has guest faculty in the NSUT, Netaji Subhash University Technology, and he has done PhD from the Japan. And he has approximately 13 plus year of the experience in the research, and his area is the machine learning and artificial intelligence.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this warm welcome and welcoming for the keynote speakers. Now, in our journey, I would like to start our keynote speaker, first keynote speaker, Shakit Swarup sir. Please welcome Shakit Swarup sir and the dais. Please have दिख रहा है visible
You will also we'll also see the PPT.
Yeah, that is better. I haven't thought that I would be first speaker, and thought that I would be able to include others views what they have been presenting here. But now it seems to be I'm the first one. So basically, I have worked in different areas, and right now I'm a big data architect in UK telecom industry. But in Government of India and in my US ventures, I have worked with robotics and IoTs, primarily in automation. Here today I chose AI and blockchain, though I thought earlier to choose IoT also. Then I thought there would be much areas to discuss with. So today I will discuss only AI and blockchain, which are again very hot subjects. But I will try to address the IoTs as well in between. You can place us on this, that will be easier.
Okay.
Thanks. So there's a lot of hype about these two subjects, and people have very high expectations from these two areas, like AI and blockchain. So I always say that we shouldn't be very much ambitious on when we go and select the new technologies. Unlike India, I have worked in the US and Canada. They are very precautious when they choose the new technology. They don't immediately adapt. But in India, I'm seeing that people are very, very excited for new technology, especially the AI. Even my daughter, who is a student of IMS Ghaziabad, interestingly. So she has been preparing different GPTs on AI, especially the supervised and unsupervised machine learning. And I have been against machine learning, rather. I have been liking deep learning, on the contrary, from the last 20 years. When I heard the first time about the deep learning, there was a Deep Blue computer, which was introduced by the IBM, which attracted my attention because Deep Blue, the computer, it defeated the Garry Kasparov, the grandmaster in chess. And I just wanted to know how could a computer can defeat a grandmaster who can think, which is a testing of a human intelligence in chess game. So I then learned that first time Deep Blue could not defeat Gary Kasparov, rather. And Gary Kasparov defeated Deep Blue computer, supercomputer, 3 times before Gary Kasparov was defeated. And then he admitted that now thereafter, every time I'll be defeated from this machine. And it's he called it's a defeat of the mankind. If machines can defeat a person and quite intelligent. Now I went through inside in depth of these two areas, machine learning and deep learning. So whenever people called me, hey, this is the machine learning, and when it did not work, after I shouldn't criticize the good companies, after spending billions of dollars, says 4,000 crore, 5,000 crore rupees, and still the technology is not giving those results which these are meant for. I said, why it has not been providing that results? They said, hey, we should have provided the wrong data set. That's why it is not providing me good results. That's a very good excuse for the technology. I'm not blaming the technology. I'm blaming the very infrastructure, how they are being implemented. Machine learning in nutshell is supervised and unsupervised. It is provided the data sets, and on that data sets, machine can learn good or bad. Okay, technically speaking, it's a good achievement of the mankind that they have achieved this machine learning, so many systems. But when these systems work miserably, rather providing good results, they start providing the bad results. Then should I go for advocate for such technology? No, I should not. No matter how much advancement this is there, this is proven bad in comparison to a human being. But then I came in contact with the second part, the deep learning, which is really very good and very close to the mankind, how a human being becomes intelligent. Okay, next slide. And I want to keep this with interactive this session. What my audience think whether machines can really think like humans or not. The same question was asked by the Lady Ada around 60, 70 years back. At that time, Lady Ada was called a drug addict, and entire computer fraternity was calling the lady as mindless. They said how a machine can think. Lady Ada, even there's a language Ada on the Lady Ada's name. Lady Ada was a drunk. Actually, she was fond of drinking. But it does not mean that she was not intelligent enough. She worked at large on the artificial intelligence. But unfortunately, after spending 40 years of crucial development, Lady Ada herself declared, no, machines are dumb. They can never be intelligent like human beings. It was the conclusion of that woman who has worked most on the artificial intelligence. And then you might have heard about another person, but I think my slide is the last slide. Next. Over here. Yes, thank you. So the Lady Ada was named at that time that she declared herself, no, machines cannot think. But there was another person, Al Turing. You might have seen the movie Imitation Games. It was based upon the Turing name. And many people say that the Apple logo itself is based upon the Turing half-eaten apple, which Mr. Turing was eating that apple with cyanide treated apple because he was doing some research how cyanide works on the human brain, whether it becomes more intelligent and it kills also. The activity becomes so large. So ChatGPT is at top of the town nowadays, and they are just raising the expectations from ChatGPT. I heard that ChatGPT has cracked the NEET and the JEE exam, but however it got failed in the mighty IAS exam. It failed in the IAS exam, but it cracked the NEET and JEE exam. So ChatGPT is named, and Microsoft has recently acquired from OpenAI this Majestic program. But the question is ChatGPT that intelligent? You can do very well experiment with this. My son was telling me, hey, Dad, this is that. Okay, I said, okay, start it. Can you start it? My son started it just last week. I said, okay, give him a sentence. Ram is the son of Dashrath, and Lakshman is the younger brother of Ram. Who is Lakshman to Dashrath? I had a very simple question. ChatGPT did not answer. It said Lakshman is the brother of Ram, which I provided that information to him. What I expected from ChatGPT was that it could have established that when Ram is the son of Dashrath and Ram and Lakshman are brothers, Lakshman is son of Dashrath, but did not conclude it. It did not show me that intelligence what I was expecting from the ChatGPT. It was just so hyped and very latest, which I could prove even today. So I did not like the program itself. And I went on developing a new system, on the contrary, which could understand the context. Even ChatGPT understand the context actually. So it is another, I'm sorry, further back. Or back. Okay. So that was the second point, is the entity extraction, sense of noun and adjective from NLP, natural language processing. This is the area where computer technology has done wonders in recent past. Around 10 years back, when I was speaking something, computers were not understanding. I'm speaking, I spent a good amount of money on buying a HP computer around 2008. It's roughly 15 years back. That computer, besides the touch screen part, it was an intelligent computer which was able to listen and do a speech to text, which was not that mature in 2008. However, technology was there, but it was not that accurate. Now, I believe Google, by virtue of Google APIs, we can take up to 100% accuracy when I'm speaking something. At least computer is getting what I'm speaking. And I'm pretty much satisfied with the results of natural language processing. It is doing very good. But when we go to the entity extraction, that where it fails there actually. A very simple thing, as I just gave an example, that Ram is the son of Dashrath. It does not understand what son is. What is son? When I'm saying son is a noun or son is an adjective, that's very particular thing. That's noun and adjectives. Because human brain is capable to understand very quickly that Ram is a noun, a person, and son is some sort of relationship. What that relationship is. Now there will be a whole story behind the son. Who is the son? Son kaun hota hai, putra kaun hota hai, something like that. And human baby takes a lot of time to understand. I am son, he is my father. I am son, he is my mother. She is my mother. He is my and my grandfather is my father to father. The relationship which I have with my father has the same relationship with my grandfather. Hence, he is my grandfather. You may understand that despite being intelligent, a human child, how long it takes to understand the relationship between a Bua, who is a Bua. Bua is sister of my father, just like my own sister. It takes a lot of time, lot of understanding, lot of information behind. So please, next. How it happens? It happens with if we compare with the nearest data structure, the graph, a weighted graph actually. Each graph is a node in the data structure. I have taught data structure with Vinay sir. So you may remember I was teaching this data structures around for last 12 years. I'm not in academy, but I have taught for 12 years in different engineering colleges, in 3 in Ghaziabad, 1 in Delhi, and 2 in Muzaffarnagar, SD College of Engineering. From there, I went to US. I turned overnight from associate professor to a software engineer, and hence then software engineering has been attracting me more, but academics has its own flavor and own enjoyment. So over there, sir may remember, Vinay sir, that I was teaching data structures. So the weighted graph was one way where Bob is Sally. You may see here different graphs, nodes. And here I have not shown the relationship here. So here you can put a relationship between 2 nodes. So the artificial intelligence starts creating the nodes in the memory, just like a human brain does. It has a capability to do that. Now, what relationship, just like Bob and Sally, there's a sun. What is sun? So sun itself is a memory location in our brains, and it has a whole lot of data information related to sun itself. Who is the son? Who is the father? Who is the brother? And what is the counter results of 2 relationships? That's called an entity relationship diagram. So that diagram, ChatGPT is right now lacking, despite being the most intelligent system. And Deep Blue still has. So Deep Blue, however, was targeted to solve a particular problem like chess playing, and it's fantastically done. Deep Blue can defeat any human brain. I think Mr. Anand, Grandmaster Anand, has been defeated, and now Deep Blue claims that no human being can defeat the Deep Blue. So that kind of architecture, if we develop tomorrow, then we can say, okay, human brains are up to that level. I happen to see a very good movie, and movies are very good in inspiring and putting the questions to you. Ex Machina, that I think you might have seen that movie, Ex Machina. So Ex Machina has a particular interesting thing that there's a girl who is a robot actually, and now the tester has to prove that he's a robot, and he's a human being, just like human being. The robot is very intelligent, but it gets all the questions when it starts interacting. So I given an idea here that the computers should not have all such jargon in their memory because computer memory is limited. So rather it should load only that much data, how much it is interacting. Other information can reside on some cloud, on some internet like that. So as human beings wake up every morning, they start interacting, and then that much knowledge they get. Even human beings, if we start getting all the knowledge all the time, we will go mad. So we start interacting to day-to-day basis on only that much information we keep fetching from our memory. So a similar structure should be in computers tomorrow, which can understand the difference between noun and adjective, can create the more nodes related to that node. When we will reach up to that level, then we will be able to call that, hey, computers are intelligent. So Ex Machina movie gives a direction in that direction, computers may be as intelligent as human beings are, maybe more intelligent. And unfortunately, that's sad that human brains are also programmed. He said, who has programmed this girl? You have given some extra information to the girl. He said, yes, we are also programmed. The hero says, how we are programmed? Nobody has fed information in me. And no, you are programmed. You're programmed by your DNA. Certain information, we are also biased. We have different biases, and the biases are required for the survival, but they're bad sometimes. We are overoccupied by some wrong principles. Just 300 years back, human beings say that sun moves around the earth. Now, a new thing we have taught that sun is stationary and earth is moving around. And tomorrow we'll come to know, no, entire solar system is moving around the galaxy. Tomorrow we'll say, no, galaxies are also moving. So nothing is stationary. So that new information keeps coming to us. I have not gone in the space and see that whether sun is moving or earth is moving. That's the information, or I call it bias, which is provided to me by my education system, my teachers, my parents. So they bias me, whether right or wrong, that is a separate issue. But we are fed, we are programmed by that way. That was the reason behind which I strongly believe we will be very soon will be intelligent enough. But Stephen Hawking has warned us, once this AI has a potential to eliminate the entire mankind from the earth at the same time. So we have to be very precautious and not overwhelmed.
Human community is in danger.
Maybe if we are more intelligent, then we may devise some protection systems also. But unfortunately, sir is right. We have put more money, more resources in the destruction than the safeguard. I believe the money we have put in the nuclear programs world over, I think 5,000 nuclear weapons we have developed. Now we have added them into the missiles, and now we have developed the S-400 systems to launch the missiles intelligently with a fraction of a second. If Pakistan mistakenly drops a missile to us, we can fire just a chain reaction kind of thing, and which will eliminate definitely the system. Just 2-3 months back, India fired mistakenly a BrahMos missile into Pakistan. However, it was an empty missile, and India immediately informed Pakistan that it's an empty missile. Don't worry, you don't start the same thing. And they took a strong action on that. But yes, the potential is very high. So we should invest some resources, some brain into that when we are developing these destructive systems and good systems too. Sorry, going back, please. This ChatGPT thing. So here, what is the problem with the latest technology is, while evolved as a great chatbot, it's a good chatbot. It can answer 90% of questions what you ask because this can be fed. So it is very good in terms of that book does not return you back. When I was just teaching, I learned that what is the difference between online education and face-to-face education. You can query the teacher. You can query me right now, and I can answer that. But in certain things, if you are reading a book, which is very knowledgeable, but you cannot question back immediately. In the same time, in online education, if there are 40, 50 people audience, you can answer. 300 people, you can answer. You can choose the questioning guy. But if it is on online, 3,000 people are sitting. It's very difficult for you to choose from the hand raiser. Shall we name the expressions wise that who is eligible or something like that. So that is the problem here, that chatbot can answer most of the questions, not all. Can work well by extracting the context, and it can also extract the context without caring about noun or adjective, but lacks creating new context. Where it is lacking from human being, it cannot create a new context. It cannot think on its own. An experiment failed. It started abusing and learning bad qualities. When they put ChatGPT in a customer relation program and some people abused him, the ChatGPT started abusing back. And somebody abused the ChatGPT, hey, you are this. He said, okay, I can also say the same thing. It started abusing the audience, which is a very bad example, very bad experience. I'm quite kind to that person just because some other people were abusing, how it could abuse me. But don't you think the same happens with human beings also? When I go to a policeman, it treats me bad because policeman has been frustrated with the people saying that all people are like that. So I will also do that same thing. Second option is blockchain. I jump to the next thing, seeing my time. I have started timer. So, and this is the blockchain thing, which I was working upon on these two issues. Blockchain is a wonderful idea to provide long information and reliable information. When I say reliable, I would take an example of Bitcoin, which is the currency used, and blockchain has been implemented successfully in this application. So why Bitcoin was so popular and why blockchain technology is used. However, you can use blockchain in other types also, but Bitcoin was one thing. One thing is transaction is requested. I have to pay something to you. You have to return back something to me. So in earlier days, it was a barter system. And whenever we have to trade, the word trade itself is exchanging something. I was giving to you wheat, you will give me to some gold or some animal or something. That was the very start of the transactions. So then the Genghis Khan, I think you might have heard the name Genghis Khan. He started the currency notes. He was a very intelligent person, a ruler actually, and was a ruthless killer also. So he said, he asked some traders from other countries, they come to me. They used to take some gifts to him, expensive gifts, and Genghis Khan used to return with those gifts. That the day kings were doing. But one fine day, Genghis Khan did not return any gift or any equal value thing. He gave just a paper of his signature. Take this. This is equal to your value. Trader was saying, hey, what is this? The piece of paper. Sign. I said, no, don't worry. Wherever you will take this paper, you can use the same as the value of that much money, $1,000 or something. He said, if nobody accepted it, I will kill him. Don't worry. My terror is so high, they cannot dishonor my signature document. So today, the same thing is with the ruler of our India, Modi Sahab, Murmu Sahab, or our RBI governor. They give the guarantee. If you read carefully on the currency note, what is written over? So it is written that I guarantee to pay the sum of this much amount. That's the value of this currency note. Otherwise, it's a piece of paper. Only that promise which is written here, nobody can dishonor it. What will happen if you dishonor it? Police will come, not Genghis Khan, obviously. Maybe our local SHO is more dangerous than Genghis Khan. So people are afraid of, hey, we cannot dishonor the transaction. So that's the way this currency is being run. Same way in blockchain, you can make transactions. They're authentic. They're more authentic than any other country's signatured currency value. Why? That the blockchain provides you the guarantee. Guarantee is behind as many as transactions are done on multiple servers. they made n number of copies, 1,000 copies, 1 lakh copies on different nodes. These copies, if even one copy goes, say, compromised, I changed it, I manipulated it. Whenever there is a transaction, each transaction will be compared with all other transactions and will be treated as compromised transaction and will be rejected. So that way it is guaranteed. It will tell you not only that you can do transaction, but also that this transaction is authentic and nobody can change it. That's the way of architecture gives it. Then the contract is there that this can be taken or back, just like Bitcoin. Then they provided a facility that how the new currency will be created. So that the minting concept was done, and they provided a the hardness of the equation of the how much efforts you do with it. So that was the way the blockchain in nutshell is a type of distributed database or ledger, which is distributed among many computers. But the problem is it takes a lot of time. Next. So why blockchains are lengthy? Because they have endless chain of computers, and it's expensive also to maintain. And the guarantee who is organizing it. Server-based blockchain concept is heading to a situation in terms of delayed returning time. Earlier days was very fast, but with the due course of time, it goes small, lengthier. Lengthy transactions, resource-hungry design, and lot of unnecessary application. So what is the way ahead? So another solution was the mobile phone-based blockchain, because people are using these servers themselves. They can hold the information and n number of information without relying on any server at all. Even if you destroy all the servers, still all phones can have. So instead of having 1,000 copies, you can have only 5 copies. With the intelligence that all 5 mobiles will not go off at the same time. If all 5 phones go silent at the same time, the concept will be dead. So one phone is in Sri Lanka, one phone is in America, one in Australia, one in South Africa, and it can go, or any number of phones. And there are multiple copies. No phone knows where is the other copy. So when you verify the transaction, it should be able to tell that this is the wrong transaction, the right transaction. More dispersed computing power. Nowadays, all phones have the computing power as well, and they're pretty well can handle the complicated information as well as calculations. Faster real-time validation, easy data traversal. Data traversal means how the data trail will follow. So it will be following from one phone to another. More handy transactions with uninvasive short size, new peer, and it's a peer-to-peer communication. So even server goes down, they can be reenacted from different phones also. Phones will again get the information and populate the server data chain. The objective was earlier, again I go back to Chinggis Khan. What was the objective of starting a currency kind of thing or a transaction, a guaranteed transaction, barter system? Earlier days, as I started, actually 2 assets, common usable assets as wheat, opium. You will be wondered to know that opium was a currency earlier days. I am a drug addict or not, but I was carrying opium just because it was a transportable thing, just like gold in old days. And you can pay any value in the opium or wheat. I have myself used the wheat as a barter system in villages when I was a child, 8 years old. So my nanny used to say, "Ek katori chawal le jao, kuch bhi de do, ice cream, something."
So ice cream was very common.
Ice cream was very common. So when ice cream guy was coming, I was taking the bowl of this thing. It was easier in village than in city. In city, we have to ask my mother, give me 2 rupees or 1 rupee. Here, they just take a bowl and go outside and buy anything. There's a whole lot of wheat. And it was a perfect system, nothing wrong with that, except you cannot carry 1 crore rupees to wheat, obviously. It is difficult actually. Today, valuable metal or rare decorative material like coins, ingots, gems, cowrie shells. You may wonder in India, cowries, bolte hain isko. Kitna footy cowrie unique hua. The cowrie was itself as a currency. Why it was a cowrie was a currency? And I compare it with Bitcoin. The cowrie's origination of minting was as difficult you cannot find so many corals. You have to go to some pond or something. Then the contract form, you can have the contract, you can sign a contract. If any old people or who might have read the commerce, what were the contracts called in India in terms of money, that you take this contract paper to another city and you'll get the money. One is Hawala. But the more practical system was hundis, the word hundis. That hundi was signed from one prestigious Lalaji and they were cashable in another city. So that was similar to the contract. Traveler checks were another recent days solution. And the government issued guarantee notes, which was again Genghis Khan sort of thing. That's who will reject, he will be behind the bars and will be forced. So that way, these are the contracts which blockchain also guarantees the same way, easier way, and it is beyond the governments. Like Bitcoin, you might have heard that you can purchase almost anything under the sun in Bitcoin today. However, Bitcoin is going down since I purchased them continuously for the last 1 year. It has gone maybe 1/5 or 1/4. I said, okay, I should stop researching on that. Bitcoin is going continuously down after that. So that was my two presentations for all the things that my technology knowledge and my questions were there. And if you have questions, I will be grateful to address them. Any question? I don't guarantee that I will be able to answer, but I will. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I wish to say you something, your brief introduction. He has done BS, MS, Computer Science, LLB, MBA, and he is having a rich experience, 26 years of experience, and 4 years in USA, experience in IT system and development, 7 years in MHA, Goal as National Project Manager and Architect for ERSS 112 initial ICGS design. Currently, he is associated with the Big Data Architect with UK Belgium University at remote basis. Basically, I would like to say to the audience, especially sir has explained very nicely about AI and with diagrammatic, picturetic. I would like to explain two things, especially ML and DL, in very introductory way. The way sir has explained and checked explanation. As a teacher, I would like to say ML and DL very nicely way. Wherever very nicely way you can take it with you. Whenever you have much data, you can go for DL. When you have less data, you can go for DL. There is one graph between that with the performance and the data. If you have machine learning less data, then machine learning performance is higher than that deep learning. Other than I have done project with the deep learning and machine learning, there was like black box and all. So we'll discuss more in more detail. We are having sort of time, so I would like to request our next speaker, Mr. Avinash Kumarji. He is having again very much rich experience of 25 years experience, industrial experience. He has done mechanical engineering and MBA operations. Currently, he has associated with the Moriroku Technology India Private Limited since 2001. And his key responsibility, management coordinator, sustainability, development goals, and carbon neutrality, GSG emissions. So please give a big round of applause to our next speaker, Mr. Avinash Kumarji. Please.
So, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and warm welcome for this session. Actually, we have discussed about AI और आज के टाइम में खास तौर से हर बच्चे का यही सपना है कि अगर इंजीनियरिंग करना है तो AI इज द फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस. तो सर टेक्नोलॉजी कोई भी हो, टेक्नोलॉजी का यूज मैटर करता है कि वेदर टेक्नोलॉजी इज गुड और नॉट. So same person, according to my perception, AI is also requirement for the upgradation for the future. So every time we have to have a look for the futuristic growth. So basically, we are also from a manufacturing unit. You all might have known about the Honda cars. So we are the joint venture of Honda Cars. And currently our global focus is on sustainability development. Sustainability development is the program which was initiated by the United Nations. Around 139 countries are associated, and collectively we are working for this sustainability development. There are 7 objectives. So as a part of responsible corporate, we are also in that. Like our principal is Japan. So if we are taking example of carbon neutrality, so why carbon neutrality is important? Because हमारे शास्त्रों में भी लिखा गया है कि जो हम अपने लिए कमाते हैं उसमें सबका हिस्सेदारी होती है, जिसको कि इकोसिस्टम कहा जाता है, जिसे आप फूड चेन, वेब चेन, जो भी कुछ कह लीजिए। तो उन्हीं चीजों को आज दुनिया भी मान रही है कि वो चीजें सही हैं। केवल जरूरत इस चीज की है कि हम समझें कि जो हमारी फंडामेंटल चीजें नहीं है वो इंटैक्ट हैं आज भी उनका कोई जवाब नहीं है और वो अद्भुत है। तो डेफिनेटली हम दुनिया के किसी भी देश में जाएं, दुनिया के किसी भी टेक्नोलॉजी को लर्न करें, लेकिन जो हमारे बेसिक प्रिंसिपल्स हैं वो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है। एंड करेंटली वी आर आल्सो प्रैक्टिसिंग दैट इज होलिस्टिक एंड विजुअल मैनेजमेंट। So what is holistic and visual management? So sir, that is totally application of the AI. Real data, सारा खेल आज डेटा का है। जितना एक्यूरेट और रियल डेटा आपके पास है, आप उतना अच्छा प्रोडिक्शन कर सकते हैं और आपका जो रिजल्ट होगा वो भी उतना ही प्रिसाइज एंड एक्यूरेट है। चाहे वो मिसाइल टेक्नोलॉजी हो, चाहे आपको अपने बच्चे को एजुकेशन देना है या उसको कुछ और चीज के लिए प्रिपेयर करना है, चाहे वो गेम्स और स्पोर्ट्स में जाना है, कहीं किसी फील्ड में जाना है, तो दिस इज ऑल द रोल ऑफ द डेटा। अभी हम लोग जो काम कर रहे हैं सस्टेनेबिलिटी डेवलपमेंट पे, तो अभी सर ने दिखाया है कि जो वाई वी आर वर्किंग फॉर दिस कार्बन न्यूट्रलिटी, बिकॉज ब्लू स्काइज फॉर आवर चिल्ड्रन। व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ ब्लू स्काइज फॉर आवर चिल्ड्रन? ब्लू स्काइज मीन्स इस धरती के ऊपर अस्तित्व तभी तक है जब तक हमारा स्काई ब्लू है। तो दिस इज आवर फ्यूचरिस्टिक अप्रोच, दिस इज आवर कारपोरेट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कि हम कहाँ से चले थे, हमारा बेस लाइन क्या है। जब भी हम किसी चीज की शुरुआत करते हैं तो सबसे पहले हमें बेस लाइन स्टैब्लिश करना होता है और उस बेस लाइन को रियलिस्टिक बनाना पड़ता है बेस्ड ऑन योर एक्चुअल डेटा एंड एविडेंसेस। तो ये हमने दिखाया है कि ये हमारी बेस लाइन है और इस बेस लाइन को हम कहाँ तक ले जाएंगे, कैसे रिड्यूस करेंगे, और उसके लिए आप देखेंगे राइट साइड में हमारे एक्शन प्लान है कि हम अवेयरनेस, सबसे पहले जो किसी भी काम की शुरुआत होती है अवेयरनेस से होती है। लोगों को रिक्वेस्ट किया जाता है कि एस्पेक्ट एंड इम्पैक्ट, आप कोई काम कर रहे हैं तो उसका इम्पैक्ट क्या होगा, आपके ऊपर क्या होगा और अदर्स के ऊपर क्या होगा। लाइक यू आर थ्रोइंग अ गार्बेज इन योर सोसाइटी, so it will not only harm individual, it will harm to others also. उसके बाद फिर टेक्नोलॉजी सर, वही जो डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजीज है उनकी फिजिबिलिटी करना, क्योंकि सबसे पहले तो वायबिलिटी आती है। वायबिलिटी के बारे में मैं बताऊं आपको, जैसे हम लोग वी आर यूजिंग इंजेक्शन मोल्डिंग मशीन, तो फर्स्ट जनरेशन, सेकंड जनरेशन, थर्ड जनरेशन, अभी जो लेटेस्ट चल रही है इंडस्ट्री 5.0, उसमें क्या है कि जैसे कुछ पार्ट्स बनते हैं, उसमें पार्ट्स शॉर्ट मोल्डिंग हो जाती है, वो पार्ट डिफेक्टिव पार्ट्स हो जाते हैं, बिकॉज देयर इज लॉट ऑफ वेरिएबल्स फॉर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग दैट पार्ट। हमारे यहाँ क्या है, सिंस वी आर क्वालिटी कंसर्न पीपल, तो हम उसको रिजेक्ट ही करते हैं। सो दैट इज लॉसेस। अगर लॉसेस है तो हमारी लाइफ साइकिल कॉस्ट बढ़ेगी, कार्बन एमिशन बढ़ेगा, सो हाउ टू कंट्रोल। तो जो अभी जो लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी है उसमें ये है कि मशीन इटसेल्फ कैलिब्रेट द मतलब सारे प्रोसेस के डेटा को रिकॉर्ड करता है और अब मशीन को ऑटोमेटिक कैलिब्रेट कर देता है। तो दो चांसेस ऐसे भी होते हैं कि मान लीजिए कोई मटेरियल थोड़ा सा ड्राई रहेगा, उसमें मॉइस्चर रह गई, तो वो सेंस करके, ऑटोमेटिक सेंस करके उसने क्या किया, बैरल के टेम्परेचर को उतना बढ़ा दिया। So this is the application of AI, what we are using in our system and how we are getting benefit from that.
Evaporate हो जाएगा.
Right, sir. पहले हम जो मशीन यूज करते थे वो इंडक्शन मशीन होती थी, कंटिन्यूअस 24 चलती थी. जितने भी साइकिल थे, जैसे हमारी एक साइकिल होती है कि इंजेक्शन करेंगे, मोल्ड क्लोज करेंगे, हाई क्लैंपिंग करेंगे, प्रोडक्ट आउट लेके आएंगे. तो वहां पे हमने देखा कि वो बड़ी मशीन ही चल रही है, जबकि इजेक्शन के लिए हल्का सा कुछ प्लास्टिक कंपोनेंट छोटे से होते हैं. तो वहां पे जो इजाद हुआ, वहां पे सारे सर्वो कंट्रोल आ गए कि हर ऑपरेशन के लिए एक छोटी छोटी सर्वो मशीन आ गई और उसका न्यूमेरिक कंट्रोल हो गया कि जब उसको काम करना है उस सीक्वेंस में वो छोटा सा काम करे. तो जहां पे आप देखिए कि 35 किलोवाट की मोटर काम करती थी, वहां पे 0.5 किलोवाट से हमारा काम चल जा रहा है और वो उतनी देर के लिए ऑन हो रहा है जितनी देर की उसकी जरूरत है. So this is the application of AI. So now back to our sustainability development program. So these are our program कि how we will तो आप पूछ रहे थे क्या क्या करेंगे. So not only in process we are looking for all the aspects कि जैसे हम डीजल जनरेटर्स हैं तो उनको हम क्या करेंगे. तो जो हमारे टारगेट है उसके हिसाब से एंड सर पीछे रहेगा जी. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. ये आप देखिए फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2022-2023 में हमने ये दिए हैं, ये काम किए जो टारगेट लिए थे और उनके हमने आपको डेटा भी दिए है कि अप टू दिसंबर 22 ये हमारा टारगेट था और ये हमने अचीव किया. और 2023 और 24 फाइनेंशियल ईयर में ये हमारे प्लान है. तो हम जो भी प्लान करते हैं उसको हम करते हैं एक्चुअल करते हैं और उसके हम पीडीसी प्लान डू चेक, ठीक है ना, एंड देन अप्रूव. तो उस सीक्वेंस पे काम करते हैं. दिस इज आवर ब्रेड एंड बटर. खासतौर से जो जापानीज मैनेजमेंट है, दिस इज द स्ट्रांगेस्ट पॉइंट. हमारे यहाँ भी है, लेकिन हम क्या है कि जब तक बाहर वाला नहीं कहता उसको विश्वास नहीं करते. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. इसमें आप देखिए 2050 इज द प्रोग्राम फॉर इंडिया, बट जो हमारे इंटरनेशनल प्रोग्राम्स हैं वो 2030 तक है. यानी कार्बन को ऑफसेट करना है. कार्बन को ऑफसेट कैसे करना है, आप लोग सुने होंगे ग्रीन प्रोडक्ट. तो व्हाट इज द कांसेप्ट ऑफ ग्रीन प्रोडक्ट. ग्रीन प्रोडक्ट का कांसेप्ट ये है कि जो वो प्रोडक्ट बनाया जा रहा है उसमें उससे कोई कार्बन एमिशन नहीं हो रहा है. अब कोई भी एक्टिविटी करेंगे साहब कार्बन एमिशन तो होगा. तो हाउ यू कैन से कि देयर इज जीरो कार्बन एमिशन. तो उसमें है कि मिनिमम हाउ टेक्नोलॉजी का यूज करके हम एमिशन को कंट्रोल करें और जो एमिशन होगा जिस लेवल तक हम कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं उसको कंट्रोल करें, लॉसेस को खत्म करके, टेक्नोलॉजी को अपग्रेड करके. और उसके बाद अगर एमिशन होता है तो उसको ऑफसेट कैसे करेंगे. सो देयर इज अ सिस्टम ऑफ कार्बन ट्रेडिंग. कार्बन ट्रेडिंग क्या है कि बहुत सारी ऐसी जैसी एजेंसियां हैं कि जो ग्रीन एनर्जी बना रही है, बहुत बड़े सोलर प्लांट लगाते हैं. तो जितना वो एमिशन को कंट्रोल करते हैं उनको क्रेडिट मिलता है, सर लाइक बिटकॉइन. और जो आप एमिट कर रहे हो, आपको अगर ऑफसेट करना है तो वो क्रेडिट आप उनसे खरीद सकते हैं. और इंडिया के अंदर एक ही कंपनी है जिसका जो शेयर था वो कुछ रुपए में शुरू हुआ था एंड इट हैज क्रॉस मोर देन 10,000 रुपीज पर इक्विटी शेयर. तो दिस इज द लेटेस्ट ट्रेंड ग्लोबली. अब ऐसा हम करेंगे क्यों? क्योंकि जैसे बहुत सारे के इंटरनेशनल टैक्स हैं. आज हम इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड में काम कर रहे हैं. गेट समझौते के बाद पूरी मार्केट ओपन हो गई है, लेकिन अगर आप इसको नहीं करेंगे तो आपके ऊपर इम्पैक्ट क्या आएगा. मैंने बोला था एस्पेक्ट इम्पैक्ट ये आएगा सर, जब अपने आप प्रोडक्ट को लेकर के इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में आप जाएंगे तो वहां पे आपको कार्बन क्रेडिट की बहुत हाई कॉस्ट चुकानी पड़ेगी एज अ टैक्स. तो आपका जो प्रोडक्ट होगा वो इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में बहुत महंगा हो जाएगा. तो आप वहां बिजनेस नहीं कर पाएंगे, तो सस्टेन नहीं कर पाएंगे, इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में सस्टेन नहीं कर पाएंगे. एंड दैट इज द टोटली कहते हैं ना बिजनेस ऑफ लॉस, और आपका सर्वाइवल नहीं होगा. तो सस्टेन करने के लिए ये फ्यूचर की रिक्वायरमेंट है कि आप अपने कार्बन एमिशन को कंट्रोल करें, ऑफसेट करें, जीरो करें, इंटरनेशनल पॉलिसी के अलाइन करें. तो ये हम लोगों ने किया था कि व्हाट इज नाउ कमिंग टू सस्टेनेबिलिटी डेवलपमेंट को हमने बताया कि व्हाट इज सस्टेनेबिलिटी डेवलपमेंट. सस्टेन मींस इस चीज को हम बहुत दूर तक मेंटेन कर सकते हैं, और डेवलपमेंट में जो भी हम डेवलपमेंट करें, जैसे कि आज हमने एक डेवलपमेंट कर लिया लेकिन उसको हम सस्टेन नहीं कर पाए, गिर गए. अभी आपने सुना होगा कि यूएस में बहुत सारे स्टार्टअप्स बैंक जो थे जो फंडिंग कर रहे थे वो डूब गए. तो उनके पीछे जो रीजन रहा, बैकग्राउंड रहा, वही रहा है कि उन्होंने जो डेवलपमेंट किया या जो उन्होंने प्रोग्रेस करी वो सस्टेनेबल नहीं थी. Sustainable, something which can be maintained for a long period of time. Development, progress of economic development. So sustainable development which meet needs of current generation without compromising ability of future generation. अब इसमें सर थोड़ा सा मैं एक चीज ऐड करना चाहूंगा, इसमें नहीं है कि जो सस्टेनेबिलिटी है उसमें 3 पिलर्स हैं. सबसे जो पहला है वो है इकोनॉमिकल ग्रोथ, क्योंकि इकोनॉमिकल ग्रोथ नहीं होंगे तो ब्रिजेस नहीं बनेंगे, बिल्डिंगें नहीं बनेंगी, रोड्स नहीं बनेगी, डेवलपमेंट नहीं होगा, हमारी कमाई नहीं होगी, आप सबकी कमाई नहीं होगी. तो इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द प्रोग्रेस. लेकिन इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ में हम जो बाकी के जो पिलर्स हैं उनको ओवरलुक कर जाते हैं. सबसे पहला जो है वो सोशल है और जो दूसरा चीज है वो है इन्वायरमेंटल. तो अगर हम तीनों को केयर करेंगे, तीनों में इक्विलिब्रियम मिला करके चलेंगे, ओनली देन इट इज सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट. इसमें यही है सर कि टुडे हम क्या कर रहे हैं कि बहुत सारा थोक के भाव में सर, जैसे आप कह रहे थे कि न्यूक्लियर में, तो न्यूक्लियर इज नॉट एमिटिंग सल्फर और CO2, जो पार्टिकल 2.5 पार्टिकल 10 तो नहीं, उनमें एमिशन कम है, बट नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज ले रहा है, वाटर जिससे स्टीम बन रही है उसको ले रहा है. तो जो भी हमारे नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज है उनको हमें कंजर्व करना है. आज की डेट में हम क्या कर रहे हैं कि हम फैक्ट्री से बहुत सारा धुआं निकाल रहे हैं. अब इसी को सस्टेन करने के लिए अगर हम पेट्रोल जला रहे हैं, नेक्स्ट में क्या होगा कि देयर नो पेट्रोल लेवल, तो फिर क्या करेंगे. तो उसके लिए हमें कुछ आगे फ्यूचरिस्टिक अप्रोच करनी पड़ेगी. हाउ कैन वी अचीव सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट, हाउ डू सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट. तो प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि देखिए बहुत सारा कूड़ा है, वी आर कलेक्टिंग लॉट ऑफ कूड़ा. रीजन क्या है, पॉपुलेशन. अब इसके लिए हमें क्या करेंगे कि पॉपुलेशन को कंट्रोल करें या वेस्टेज जनरेशन को कम करें. दोनों एस्पेक्ट को हमें देखना पड़ेगा. अभी हमारा रेट ऑफ एक्सट्रैक्शन ऑफ रिन्यूएबल रिसोर्सेज शुड नॉट बी मोर देन द रेट ऑफ जनरेशन. प्लांट हम उगा कम रहे, काट ज्यादा रहे, हमें वहां पे ध्यान देना है कि भाई प्लांटेशन भी हमें करना है. पेपर चाहिए, फर्नीचर चाहिए, तो उसके लिए पेड़ तो काट रहे हैं लेकिन प्लांटेशन भी करेंगे. तो सेम चीज है सर. प्रॉब्लम हमारी ये है कि ग्रोथ कम हो रही है, कट हम ज्यादा कर रहे हैं, एयर पोल्यूशन वाटर पोल्यूशन ज्यादा कर रहे हैं, और उसके लिए हमें वो चाहिए. सर यहाँ पे नीचे जो है जो हमारे एफर्ट है, सर आप पूछ रहे थे कि एक्चुअली आप लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, तो ये नीचे जो है ये हमारे एक्चुअल एफर्ट है कि हमने ग्रीन एनर्जी में गए, सोलर लगाए हैं जी, हमने फव्वारा लगाया है. सर फव्वारा भी जो है वो इन्वायरमेंट को क्लीन करता है. दिस इज अ नेचुरल वे ऑफ कंट्रोलिंग योर PM 2.5 एंड PM 10. प्लांटेशन एक्टिविटीज में वी हैव टेकन गुड लैंड फ्रॉम द राजस्थान गवर्नमेंट, और उसका हम फ्री में प्लांटेशन कर रहे हैं, डेवलपमेंट कर रहे हैं. और जो हमारी पेट्रोल डीजल कारें थी उनको भी हम धीरे धीरे EVs में कन्वर्ट कर रहे हैं. सर नेक्स्ट चलिएगा, ये तो वही सारी चीजें जी. नेक्स्ट ये सर 17 गोल्स है. 17 गोल्स में हम लोग पॉवर्टी पे काम कर रहे हैं, जीरो हंगर पे काम कर रहे हैं. इसमें से हम 14 गोल्स पे काम कर रहे हैं. मैं मोटा मोटा बताऊंगा. क्लीन एनर्जी का हमने बताई आपको कि वी आर इंस्टॉल सोलर प्लांट इन आवर प्रेमिसेस एंड फर्दर वी हैव अ प्लान टू एक्सटेंड दैट. हंगर पे हम क्या कर रहे हैं आप लोगों को मैं बताना चाहूंगा. हंगर पे हम लोग ये कर रहे हैं कि बहुत सारे फूड हम लोग वेस्ट कर देते थे. लगभग 400-450 लोग जो है हमारे यहाँ लंच डिनर करते हैं, तो थोड़ा थोड़ा सा भी भोजन है वो वेस्ट कर देते थे. तो वहां पे हम लोगों ने कुछ करेक्टिव एक्शन लिया, लोगों को समझाया और कैंटीन वाले से बात कर ली कि भाई तेरा ये जो खाना खिला रहा है कितना दाल चावल हुआ था, कितना आता है. तो वहां पे हमने क्या किया, उसको रिकॉर्ड किया और लोगों को करके जो वेस्टेज करते थे वो किया. और उस अनाज के इक्विवेलेंट में हम लोगों ने क्या किया कि लोगों को जो नीडी एक्चुअल नीडी लोग हैं उनको हम लोग ले जाकर के संस्था में. यहाँ जो वेस्टेज था पहले क्या था कि उसको जो जानवर वानवर पालते हैं वो लोग लेकर के जाते थे. तो एक्चुअल जो नीडी लोग हैं उन तक हम लोग पहुंचा रहे हैं. ये एक्टिविटी हम लोग कंटिन्यूस करते हैं. तो आई थिंक सस्टेनेबिलिटी डेवलपमेंट जो है वो रिक्वायरमेंट है, नीड है फ्यूचर की. और हम सभी मिल करके ये प्रयास करेंगे कि ये जो 17 गोल्स है इंडिविजुअली हम किसमें कोऑर्डिनेट कर सकते हैं सोसाइटी के लिए, तो हमें करना चाहिए. और ऐसा हमारे शास्त्रों में भी है, धर्मों में भी है. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this nice explanation about carbon neutrality and application of data, especially game of data, and especially the concept you have given to us, blue skies concept and the green product, and how to save environment for the future, for our future generations. Very nice explanation. Thank you. Please give a big hand to them. Big hand to him, sir. Now, I would like to call our next speaker, Naveen Virmani, sir. He has done MTech in manufacturing and automation from YMCA University of Science and Technology, Faridabad, Haryana. His PhD from 2013 to 2019 on operation management, worked as a postdoctoral fellow at IIT Guwahati, India. Currently, he is working as an associate professor at Institute of Management Studies, IMS, Ghaziabad, since June 2021. Please give a big hand to him. Thank you, sir.
So first of all, I would like to thank IHR and Dr. Vinay for inviting me on this platform to share my knowledge. So basically, I'm working in the area of Industry 4.0 right now, and already two speakers have spoken a lot on this topic, Industry 4.0. Like first speaker have already told you about the AI machine learning part, and second speaker about the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. So total there are 17 SDG which are there, and sir, like if you will see this Industry 4.0 already, it is contributing so much on sustainability. Like you have already highlighted three dimensions, that is social, economic, and environmental. So it is directly contributing towards. So sir, first slide. Yes. So if you see this Industry 4.0, what is Industry 4.0? I think everyone has nowadays has heard about Industry 4.0. Nowadays, even we are talking about it extensively. This. So nowadays we are talking about instead of factory, we are talking about smart factory. Like sir was discussing about the real-time data. The next page. So this is basically about the industrial revolution, how industrial revolution was started. So if you see this, this slide itself speaks a lot. So in first industrial revolution, the steam power was introduced into the market. When you can say there was an excellent work by Professor James Watt, where he introduced about the steam engine. So steam powered engine, these engines were introduced in the market. So if you see during that time in the industries, what happened at that time, product variety, volume, and innovative was extremely less. And even if you, for example, many of you, I think, will agree, if you will talk to your father, that at that time, what was their lead time was very less. Lead time was very high. Lead time was very high. Nowadays, lead time is very less. What is the lead time? Any idea about lead time? I think, sir, you was having in one slide, I was seeing, in one slide, you have mentioned lead time and tech time. So lead time is the time between placing the order and receiving the goods. Placing the order and receiving the goods. So if you see what was there in the first industrial revolution, for example, if you're ordering any product, if you'll ask your father, then, for example, during that time, 1960s or 70s, if they were ordering any product, so it was taking 6 months, 7 months time to take your product. Yes or no, sir? So lead time was very high during first industrial revolution, and after that, in 1970s, what happened? Electricity came into the picture. Electricity-driven machines came into the market, and product variety, volume, and innovativeness increased. And after that, in third industrial revolution, computer integrated systems, NC, CNC machines. NC means numerical control, then CNC means computer numerical control, and slowly, it will see like the mobiles came into the market. And in fourth industrial revolution, like I was telling you about, it is an umbrella which is covering all these technologies, AI, machine learning, and big data. So we are talking. So if you see, this concept was introduced during Hanover Fair in Germany in 2011 during World Economic Forum. Professor Klaus Schwab from Germany, he introduced this concept Industry 4.0. And nowadays we are exceptionally again talking about Industry 5.0, like Sir was Professor Sudhu. So he was discussing whether the machines can be better than the humans or not. Like ChatGPT, so he was giving an example. So there are some flaws in still in the so many the AI-based systems which are there. So if you see this in fifth industrial revolution, and even there is a one research also. I'm not only saying this. If you see this research, there is a research of Professor Benbridge in 1983, long back. So that paper is called Ironies of Automation. That paper is title is Ironies of Automation, sir. So in that paper, basically what he has discussed is irony means whatever we are thinking in exact somewhat is different. In real, it is different. So in that paper, he has talked about like if you see nowadays also there are so many people have a phobia that these automation technologies are coming. So maybe in the coming times, like people are scared that they will lose the jobs. Yes or no, sir? So they are very, very suspicious that they will lose the job. So in that paper in 1983, long back, you can see around 25 years back. So he has said that the people will not lose the job. Even the physical work is going to be, transformed into the cognitive. So it is much more about the decision making. It is much more about the, instead of physical work, software skills like you are saying, cognitive and deep learning, machine learning, all these skill sets will be required. So again, this slides explain you about the product variety, volume, and innovativeness. As we are moving from the first industrial revolution to the fifth industrial revolution, so product variety, volume, and innovativeness is increasing. So nowadays, for example, if you see, let's say, example of this smartphone. So you can see there are how many, the smartphones, the variety of smartphones are available in the market nowadays. But if you will talk about the 2000, in the era of 2005, the customer were having very, very, limited options. But if you see nowadays, technology is increasing at a very, very fast pace. And these are the 11 pillars of industrial Internet of Things: simulation and augmented reality, virtual reality. So virtual reality, you can see the reality which is virtual, it is not real, and there are so many the application of VR. Simple you can see the application of VR in even when you will visit the mall. Yeah. VR gamings are also available, right? So VR gaming are there. For example, you want to drive the car. Let's say you don't know how to drive the car. So in virtual reality, there is a driving simulator. You yourself are on the one training module on the simulator, and you will see that there are so many cars which are there. And there also you can see you can utilize this VR module for training purpose. And even like the pilots, the aircraft pilots, they are also trained on VR platform. So there are so many things of just last slide only. So there are so many applications of VR and AR. So let's say I want to construct a building here. So here you can see virtually public speaking, or for example, in public speaking, speaker is here, and in virtually he will see all the audience is sitting and he is speaking. So again, very, very large number of applications this VR is having, and even you can imagine like any worker is working in the any worker is working on the shop floor and he is working on the machine. So how he will react when there is any accident or all in that case. So these are some of the benefits which are there. Obviously, like these are very, very costly technologies when we talk about AI, machine learning, or VR, AR, big data, everything, additive manufacturing, all are very, very costly. So once we talk about these technologies, and so you are like you're saying already, your organization is adopting, they are complying with the Industry 4.0 standards. So obviously, like one simple example, like the sir was telling that in his organization, but how they are contributing to the sustainability is they are retrofitting the machines. What is the meaning of retrofitting means? Retrofitting means the machine earlier they were using some motor which was consuming more energy, more electrical energy, but now that motors are replaced by servo motor, which is taking less energy. So ultimately they are talking about the net zero. Net zero means less carbon emission. And obviously there will be some carbon emissions. That's why Indian government has taken plan to meet this net zero objective by 2050. But your industry, I think 2030, like you are mentioning here, right? So good initiative. And again, data analytics, like sir has explained. So data, if you see, world is crazy about data. Everywhere we are talking about data and data. And even data is considered as a new fuel also for the industries. So these are some of the challenges. Like I was exploring some of these challenges. What are the different challenges which are there? Obviously, like when we talk about these kind of smart technologies, so what are the different challenges the companies are, the corporates are facing? So obviously, like all these kind of systems are very, very costly ones. So lack of funds are there, lack of, you will see in India, although nowadays we are, in the current era, we are so much focusing on research and development part. And many industries, if you see, they have set up their research and development these sections. So lack of courage, this last slide only. So lack of courage, lack of, if you see, employee resistance also. So there is a term called change management. Change managers, right? So design thinking. So normally what happens whenever any owner or any, MD introduce any new concept in the organization. So employee, offer resistance. I was giving you example, only one example in my organization, like we are academic institute and we are doing research also. So what happened day before yesterday only? So we were having one meeting for research and development, how we can increase the number of research publications by faculty members, by other, members. So what we did is in that meeting, we made 2 papers compulsory for every faculty, right? So it was mandatory requirement that every faculty members will publish 2 papers per annum, right? Because right now there are very less number of publications. So Vanessa, you are already in academics, so you might understand well also. So we made it these things compulsory. So after meeting, there was so much resistance by the faculty members which came into after the meeting. Sir, we cannot do it. We are having so much load. We are having so much, this personal life also. When we'll go home and there's so much work to do. How we publish work. So see, these kind of resistance comes, right? So whenever company will adopt any technology, definitely they will encounter different resistance by employees. So for that, the companies are taking so many measures. They are motivating the employees. They are conducting training and educational programs for the employees. So this is how the change management. This is a separate domain. Those who have gone through, they have might have understand this change management. So similarly, like when we are talking about so much about technologies nowadays, advanced technologies, AI, machine learning, and all, and there is a dire need to understand what is technology management. Like I was discussing about the change management, design thinking. Empathy. Any idea about empathy? What is empathy? So empathy means putting yourself in the shoes of others and see how the things are. So there are so many design thinking programs which are there. So what is the need? If you see earlier, what was happening is there was one manufacturer, like we have already discussed about the industry first revolution, second revolution, third revolution, and fourth. So if we see about the industrial first revolution, what was there? There was a monopolistic competition. Producers were very, very less. And customers were not having options to choose the product. For example, one company was there, the mobile phones, it was started like Motorola in 1996 or 95, if we talk about, the weight was very, very high, 650 gram or 500 gram, if you see the figure.
Sir, in 97, when we started,
yes,
so for hydraulic iron, there was only one company, Servo.
Right.
हम advance payment करते थे, फिर भी हमें नहीं मिलता था.
Right. Lead time was high. That's what I was saying. Lead time was very, very high.
And the product quality was worst.
Right.
Okay. But we are bound to purchase from them.
Right.
And today, mobile का एक product है, it's energy efficient hydraulic iron.
Right.
आप अभी order करो, कहते हैं हम तो देंगे ही, because that is their policy also, because all big companies are following this sustainability development.
Right.
So they are telling them, sir, we will give you only energy efficient iron. And there is 5%, I have checked, verified, we have received 5% energy saving by using that iron.
So last slide only. That yes. So producing cost-effective quality products, it is the requirement of each and every organization deliver high quality products, production planning and control, effective supply chain and logistics management. Even let me give you one example of IoT in supply chain. For example, Amazon has, you have ordered something on Amazon. how the things are changing, how the IoT is being applied in supply chain. For example, you have ordered anything on Amazon or Flipkart, right? And during transportation, for example, you already know the, although the situation of Indian roads has already so much improved, right? But maybe like, because of some unforeseen situations, for example, your product, whatever your product you have, ordered, during transportation, it get damaged. So, for example, that damaged product is reaching to you. So what will be the result? You will lose the trust in that e-commerce, that this particular e-commerce site, either Amazon or Flipkart or any other, eBay or whatever it is. So you will lose trust that this particular e-commerce site is providing me defective products. So instead of that, for example, during transportation, your product get damaged and sensors are sensing it. And the moment it get damaged, the message will be sent to the warehouse manager. The message will send to the warehouse manager that this particular product of this particular customer has been damaged and new product has to be reshipped. So ultimately, it will result in increased trust. So very, very simple example of this IoT in supply chain. And there are n number of examples of this, advanced technology in supply chain. For example, digital twin. And nowadays, even we are talking about metaverse. I think everyone has heard about metaverse. No? Yes. Metaverse. So it is a completely, virtual world where the avatar will be created. Our avatar, we can interact. For example, you want to go to the US, for example. By sitting here, you can visit US. By sitting here. You can create your digital avatar. There will be a virtual, the world where you will find that you are going to this state or, this particular, for example, restaurant, and you are there, you are enjoying coffee and everything. So just, I will say, explore this area more. I am also, in process of exploring this area. Like, basically, I am from operations area, so I am exploring how metaverse is helping in supply chain, how it can create a more efficient, resilient, responsive, and agile supply chain. And even one of my areas are also again in carbon neutrality supply chain also. So how it is helping, how we are attaining again sustainability and even circular economy. So like once the products are used, again it is going to the manufacturer, whatever, the components which can be used, again we can use it so as to conserve our resources, and we can met the sustainable SDG goals, like say 17 SDG goals we have already shared. So this is about the future of work. These slides explain about the future of work, like the already these technologies are coming, and I think every day you are going through some news that Amazon has laid off this many number of employees, and Google has laid off this many number of employees. So many people have lost jobs, right? So even like if you see in the manufacturing industries, everything, like sir, you were saying, the every mechanical process is going to be automated. Every mechanic with no human intervention. So people are also scared. Like there was an article, although by Bandridge, ironies of automation, like I am saying. So what type of skills are required? Sir, future of work. Next slide.
Sir, in India we have 15 machines.
Right.
And for 15 machines we have around 20 manpower.
Right.
And in China we have 150 machines and there is only 5 manpower. So this is all about the automation.
Automation, right. So this kind of, you see, like sir is saying, this kind of automations are coming. So you see, when automations will come, even like we have seen in the market, like CC days, cafe coffee day, this type of this retails are there. So there are so many in so many places in other countries. I think the UK, sir, you have seen maybe somewhere. So in so many the retail outlets, there are robots serving coffees. You go to the store, you tell the robot that I need this is coffee or this. So robot will prepare and they will give you the coffee. In India, I think it is right now.
Place has already started.
Bangalore,
in UK, yes.
Bangalore it tried.
People prefer however human beings.
Yes, people
For
prefer
novelty, they go for this kind of question.
Yes, it's very.
So if you see this future of work, we are much more interested towards nowadays cognitive skills rather than physical skills like coding and all. That's why people are preferring. So many students are preferring AI as their top choice. That is the reason. But we don't know, like in the future, what will happen, how the technology will again shape. This is just forecasted. So this is about, I think sir has talked about a lot on AI and future of manufacturing, like cost savings are there, end-to-end visibilities, then tactile operational challenges and disruptions ensure efficiency and reduce waste. Definitely we are having all these advantages. That's why we are talking about so much. And this slides tell you about the like how the AI application in human resource. Like for example, you are working somewhere as a human resource management HRM domain. So how the things are changing. And even I was going through the article, like once the employee has joined any organization, for example, and he wants to know what are the policies of the company. So there are employee chatbots are there. For example, I go to yakra.com or makemytrip.com and I want to know which type of hotels are there in, for example, Missouri. I want to visit Missouri in these many days, and what is the cost. Similarly, employee chatbots are there, like only. So, like in recruitment, you have so many specialized softwares, AI-based softwares, where you will be feeding. For example, you have get so many resumes, so many CVs of different people, and just to give the different parameters that this many experience of is required, and this is the skill sets which we are looking for. So all these CVs will be uploaded, and finally this will be the shortlisted CVs. So in recruitment, in employee development, like this chatbot, employee attrition, and even this AI-based this softwares, employee AI-based competition algorithms will tell you, for example, some employees is about to leave the organization. For example, there are 20 employees in the organization, and for example, 2 employees want to leave, and they are in the tendency, they are about to leave. So AI-based systems are there which will tell that these particular employees are about to leave the organization. So they will, they will inform you in advance, so that you can take the steps in advance. Similarly, there is a machine breakdown also. You are driving the car, highway. I think there are so many applications already coming in the market. But at what time the service level is required, at what time your car will stop, that service is required. Already these kind of features are already coming in the market. And employee engagement, employee self-service, all these kind of facilities AI is having in the HRM domain. So similarly, IoT application in supply chain is real-time monitoring, automation for smoother supply chain operations, then accurate data collection, predictive maintenance, smart logistic solutions, and initiating inventory control. Inventory control very, very much required.
However, in HR, when companies implemented the robots to shortlist the resumes,
Right, right.
they observed that such bots were refusing the women candidates at large. So they stopped only because of this. So why the robots were rejecting the women in particular in US, it happened, and courts ordered to stop using the robots in HR because they were measuring their performance in terms of their physical power, which was against the ethics of the country. It is not something that if I'm putting 10 boxes and who is putting 8 boxes, it should be deleted from the only on that basis. Especially the maternity leave women have to take. So from country perspective, from company perspective, it may be useful for the time being. But as a society, as a country, बच्चे ही नहीं होंगे आगे तो उनकी मम्मियां ही उनकी देखभाल करेंगे, उन्हीं को अब नौकरी से निकालने दो, just because of performance issues. So they stopped these practices, and they implemented by law that you cannot fire more than 30% women in comparison to men. Right? Chatbots were suggesting such.
Okay.
And they were useful, for no doubt about it.
And it should be. Otherwise, if employees are fired, then how the company will survive? How
manually it is difficult to. We have a emotional angle which robots don't have.
Right.
That is the problem. That is the major bottleneck.
Right. And same is, I think that there is a movie on a robot or what movie? Robo. That same movie, that some scenario is there. 2.0. Right. Okay, so I think these are the, if you see the technology management, it is touching each and every area, whether we're talking about manufacturing, like you are working in software. And if you see healthcare also, like we talk about, I was going through the articles, like in healthcare, for example, patients are sitting in different rooms of the hospital and doctor wants to see any information. So patients are equipped with the sensors, and sensors are continuously generating data, and data is sent over wireless network, for example, to the doctor sitting at their home. Now, for example, at let's say 4-5, what was the blood pressure of the patient sitting in the lying in the room number 19, for example. So they can monitor all the information. At 4.5, what was the blood pressure, heart rate? At 4.6, what was the blood pressure, heart rate? And not only 4.5, 4.5, 4.6. So in between also there are so many readings, which is continuously coming. So doctors can they can track the information, they can see the information, and accordingly, the softwares are there which are prescribing medicines to the patients in real time. You see what kind of automation is there. And even one of my friend is, I think 3 years back. So he went to the Siemens in Germany for doing his PhD, and recently he has completed also. So he's working in the area like nowadays we are talking about IIoT, Industrial Internet of Things. So he was working in the area of IOMT. IOMT is Internet of Medical Things. So Siemens is doing a really great job in that. If you want to explore wearable technology, healthcare automation, so it is a very, very emerging area of research. And these are some of the example in finance. Any person, any this audience from PGDM or MBA background in finance, I have made this actually.
Finance की
Okay, in finance, okay, great.
Last में तो finance पे ही
So if you see here, this AI, this application again, fraud detection and prevention. So Deloitte, like you will see, they are doing a great job. So for example, like banks, they are giving loans to the customers. So they can analyze what kind of customer can be a fraud customer by taking the data of the customer, their, for example, income, their age, their family background, and XYZ. There are so much data, right? So based on the algorithms, like data is a fuel, you can say, and computational algorithm, like sir was explaining, it is a machine. So fuel you are processing in the engine, similarly data you are processing in the computational algorithms, and finally they are giving you some results. So fraud detection and financial monitoring, security. Security is very much required. Again, very, very emerging area of research, cyber security issues, and even if you see recently, the AIMS data was, hacked, right? And the hackers were demanding a huge money. I think it was somewhere around 2,500 crores. 3,000.
हमारी कंपनी को कर लिया था.
Okay.
और जो हमारी नेटवर्थ है ग्लोबली,
Right.
उसका 10 गुना पैसा मांगा.
So this is the issue, I think, which are, yes,
security audits should be conducted.
Security audits and
should be conducted
this,
regularly.
Right. So whenever we're talking about these display technologies, obviously this area has to be standard. So security investment predictions, the softwares, machine learning, ML algorithms, they can tell you about the prediction, which, for example, share, which equity you have to purchase. They can tell you about something about risk management, robo advisory, then trade settlements, network security, algorithm trading, and money laundering. And even Deloitte, if you'll see, which is very, very renowned in research also, they are doing an excellent job in money laundering. So for example, you are earning so much money or from different sources, and you are hiding someone. So systems, AI systems can tell the money laundering case also. Like moonlighting. Moonlighting people are doing. So moonlighting means they are working on the, they are doing multiple jobs and they are hiding, they are saying they are doing one, but in real they are doing two. For example, someone is working in POSIS and TCS both. So these kind of cases are coming. Moonlighting.
But if he is working in TCS and in night running the Ola, then it is two different times. And
right. Sir, I think moonlighting is in same area, like software. The thing is, for example, someone is working in POSIS, let's say. So POSIS has there some own protocol, on guidelines of working. So maybe actually the companies are, the corporates are conscious whether the person who is working, for example, in POSIS, they can conceal, they can, show the their trade secrets or their something, information to the other competitors in the same area.
But in India, they are overarching, and the IT companies especially. They don't say that you don't work in software company, that they say you don't even sell smokers.
Okay.
Even other time.
Recently, I was going through one story also, I think last Sunday, today Saturday, last Sunday, there is a story of Samosa Singh. Has anyone heard about it?
Yes, 45 CR.
Yes, 45, 12 lakh income per day.
Per day.
Actually, 12 lakh income per day.
That is the breakup what calculated.
Yes. But so it is a very nice case study. So normally we teach these case studies to the students. So it is a very, very nice case studies of Zara. If you see about the Zara also. So I think girls will has know about the Zara supply chain. No, so it is a brand in
Actually, in garments.
garments. Yes, Zara.
Garments.
So it is a very famous and very reputed one. So Zara specialty is there that it is providing around 12,000 designs per year to the customer. 12,000 around. So for example, if we talk about any other company like Raymond's or all these, so they are having very limited number of designs. So again, they are realizing I am follower of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam also. So it is something, dream is not what you see in sleep, dream is something which doesn't let you sleep now. Right. Okay, thank you.
यही पे बैठा हुआ नॉर्थ इंडियन
Thank you, sir. Very nice explanation about Industry 4.0, IoT and supply chain. Especially you also touched the point ChatGPT, VR, AR and metaverse. VR, AR, yes, I have got an opportunity to see there in South Korea in Kyushu National, KNU, that Conclave National University, that is in Pushan. So there I have seen the real thing of VR and AR in live way. Before that in India I have not heard. And recently 4-5 months before that metaverse has seen one can't has happened. Like you may have heard and all, like how you can feel here, you will be physically here, but you feel that you are there. So that issue will come and go. But yes, technology will grow. Now, especially mechanical work has to be automated. That also has been said by sir and all, very nicely explained by our esteemed speaker Naveen Nirmani sir. Thank you, sir. Please give a big hand to him. Now come to my point. I will not show my PPTs and all. I will show simply that especially in autonomous vehicle where PSU should work. That new area. Our previous speaker has already spoken about that, and automation should be there for the future generation. We have to work for to save the energy and environment. We have to work. Yes, of course, we have 5 elements, 5 तत्वों से बना हुआ है. उसमें 3 तत्व अभी बहुत ही important है जिसमें आप काम कर सकते हैं, especially PSUs and everyone. For all human beings to work in three elements, that is working for that, starting from that earth, energy and air. That is the very high point and the high place you have to see the future generation to be work for that. I will not take much more time. Now I would like to call upon our next speaker, Mr. Vishnu Pandey. He is a CEO startup stand-up and a startup consultant in New Delhi. Please give a big hand to Mr. Vishnu Pandey. Please make time to the podium.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू ऑर्गेनाइजर IHR। और मैं वैसे तो कुछ छोड़ा नहीं है ज़्यादा क्योंकि 3 PPT में देख चुका हूँ, और जो कुछ बचा हुआ था टेक्नोलॉजी में मुझे बोलने के लिए वो नवीन जी ने बड़े अच्छे तरीके से एक्सप्लेन कर दिया। तो इस पर मैंने जो पाया कि अगर हम PSUs की बात करें तो भारत में PSUs का GDP में जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है वो करीब 25 से 30% का रहा है आज की डेट में, और एक बहुत क्रूशियल रोल है इंडियन इकोनॉमी में PSUs का। मैं स्टार्टअप कंसल्टेंट तो मेरा नजरिया वही रहेगा कि हम टेक्नोलॉजी को कैसे यूटिलाइज करें, और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया में भी ये IIHR पैनल भेजेगा एक रिपोर्ट कि यहाँ पे जो देखे जैसे कि जो 4.0 की जो क्लास स्लाइड थी बड़ी अच्छी थी कि उसमें दिखा कि प्रोडक्टिवनेस, एफिशिएंसी, टाइम मैनेजमेंट, रिस्क लॉस किया आपने, है ना, अपॉर्चुनिटी आती है। तो ये सारा जो एक सारांश है टेक्नोलॉजी का ही बेनिफिट है। मतलब अगर मैं आप सोचिए कि मैं 35 किलोमीटर दूर से यहाँ पे आया हूँ और वो आधे घंटे में टेक्नोलॉजी का ही है एग्जाम्पल। आज की डेट में बैठे हैं बड़ी इजीली आ गए, और आज हमें वीडियो कॉल पे कहीं भी रह के बात हो टेक्नोलॉजी ही है, और टेक्नोलॉजी ही परफॉर्मेंस लेके आती है, प्रोडक्टिव लेके आती है, एक्यूरेसी लेके आती है। ये कहीं ना कहीं ठीक है कि मैन फोर्स को कम करता है, और मुझे ये देख के भी थोड़ा डर लगा। एक अच्छा किस्सा याद आया कि पहले क्या था कि जो राजा थे वो गाड़ी रखते थे और प्रजा घोड़े रखते थे। अब आज की डेट में क्या हो रहा है, जो प्रजा है उनके पास गाड़ियां हैं और राजाओं के पास घोड़े हैं। तो ऐसा लगा कि एक ऐसा टाइम ना आ जाए देख के कि उनके पास आज हम रोबोट कर रहे हैं और हम एक टाइम इंसान को खोजें। तो ये भी एक सोचने वाली बात है
ये
कि
टाइम हो गया
लगभग
हाँ कि हम कहीं ऐसा ना हो जाए कि हम सोचे कि यार आज तो हम रोबोट रोबोट कर रहे हैं और एक टाइम ऐसा है जब कई सालों बाद कि यार इंसान बड़े आदमी रखे और रोबोट बड़ा कॉमन हो जाए। हाँ ये
यार वैसे हम अपने घरों में बच्चा जो है वो मोबाइल में कहीं लगा होता है, बीवी अपने कहीं और लगी होती है, हम कहीं और लगे होते हैं, तो कई बार कहना पड़ता है भाई अब सब अपने मोबाइल रख दो।
तो ये तो बहुत बेसिक है। अभी तो भारत में करीब 50% यूजर्स भी नहीं है जो 4G यूज 3G चल रहा है, मतलब सिर्फ मेट्रो सिटीज में ही ज्यादा 3G 4G यूज यूटिलाइज हो रहा है। और 2016 के बाद जो रिवोल्यूशन इंडिया में इंटरनेट का है वो तो बहुत स्पीड अप हुआ है, उससे पहले तो था भी नहीं। तो मैं वो देख के डर सा लगा, मतलब जो नवीन जी को निचोड़ देगी देखो ये है,
ये होने वाला है।
ये होने वाला है, मतलब मुझे सच में डर लगा कि जो बड़ा खतरनाक होगा कुछ सालों बाद में, कई सौ सालों बाद। तो अगर ये मेरा ही रहेगा कि अगर
I am not saying this, sir. Data is saying this.
अरे वही ना, वो देख के लगा ना कि एक टाइम ऐसा आएगा कि हम इंसान को तो बच्चों ढूंढेंगे और हमारे पास सब टेक्नोलॉजी और रोबोट और सब कुछ, एलेक्सा काम कर रहा है, हम सोच रहे हैं, हमारे आंखों के आगे जा रहा है। तो टेक्नोलॉजी इस तरीके से चली कि पहले एक बड़े रूम में कंप्यूटर होता था, अब एक पहले इतने में आया, अब लैपटॉप में आया, मोबाइल में, और अगर कुछ चश्मे भी आएंगे जो आप फ्लिप कर दोगे और उसी से बात करोगे। ये नेक्स्ट रिवोल्यूशन होगा शायद कम्युनिकेशन का।
स्विगी तो देख रहे हैं आप खाने में।
हाँ
पेट का सही होगा।
हाँ मेरा बड़ा होगा शायद। तो पीएसयू को लेकर हमें ग्रोथ करना चाहिए कि पीएसयू भारत के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। आप सोचिए करीबन 2 करोड़ लोगों की रोजगार इससे जुड़े हुए हैं। अगर हम टेक्नोलॉजी को, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया अगर इंप्रूव करेगी, जैसा कि टॉपिक भी है हमारा कि टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर द ग्रोथ ऑफ पीएसयू, प्राइवेट सेक्टर पब्लिक सेक्टर्स में टेक्नोलॉजी का इंप्रूवमेंट इतना जरूरी है, क्योंकि आज की डेट में कहीं ना कहीं बैकस्टेज में बैठा हुआ जो एम्प्लॉय है जो काम कर रहा है वो कहीं ना कहीं वो फिर वो कहते हैं मैन फोर्स ज्यादा है और उससे इम्प्रूवमेंट नहीं आती है, और जीडीपी कंट्रीब्यूशन बहुत कम ज्यादा हो गया है। इतनी से करीब आप सोचेंगे नहीं कि जो पहले सिर्फ पूरे भारत में 250 पीएसयूज हैं, पीएसयू सेंट्रल पीएसयू है टोटल, उसमें से 4 मेजर पीएसयूज टोटल पीएसयूज का 58% कंट्रीब्यूशन देते हैं जीडीपी में। आईओसीएल, बीपीसीएल, एचपीसीएल, ठीक है, और एक
ऑल इंडिया।
हाँ ऑल इंडिया, ये चार मेजर है। और उस 250 के बाद जो 16 पीएसयूज बचे वो 38% जीडीपी का देते हैं। यानी कि आप सोचिए 220 पीएसयूज ही प्रॉफिटेबल बिजनेस कर रही हैं, और वो कहीं ना कहीं वो इसलिए क्योंकि रिफाइनिंग सेक्टर में ज्यादा है और कंजप्शन मार्केट में भी ज्यादा है, ऑयल के लिए इसलिए ज्यादा है। बट ये कि अगर टेक्नोलॉजी जितना वेल तरीके से एक्सप्लेन किया और ये रिपोर्ट हम भेजे सर सरकार को, तो उस पर कंसिडर करें। तो ऐसे बचा नहीं था कुछ कहने का, पर पीएसयू के बारे में बताया। थैंक यू सो मच सर। थैंक यू सो मच।
नहीं सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन है रिगार्डिंग हाउ यू आर लुकिंग स्टार्टअप इन इंडिया।
देखिए पहले तो हमें स्टार्टअप की डेफिनेशन काफी लोगों को पता नहीं है। हमें लगता है कि हम बिजनेस शुरू करें तो वो स्टार्टअप है, पर स्टार्टअप की डेफिनेशन वो है द कंपनी नॉट मोर देन 100 करोड़ टर्नओवर
इन टर्म्स ऑफ
गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया डेफिनेशन है कि अगर कंपनी जिसका टर्नओवर 100 करोड़ से ऊपर का नहीं, वो भी स्टार्टअप में कंसिडर करेंगे। और कंपनी 10 नॉट मोर देन 10 ईयर ओल्ड, वो भी स्टार्टअप है। बट अब आप सोचिए लोन की डेफिनेशन में अगर हम जाएंगे तो 50 लाख से नीचे का अगर आप लोन लेंगे तो स्टार्टअप लोन होगा, 50 लाख से ऊपर लेंगे तो स्टैंडअप लोन होगा। आप मुझे डेफिनेशन में और एग्जीक्यूशन में कितना फर्क है।
मैं सर इसीलिए डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ बिकॉज हम जो है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स पे पिछले 1 महीने से जो है ना इन्हीं सब चीजों में
मुझे पता है साइट डाउन पड़ी है, बहुत सारे एमसी के साइट है, बहुत सारे अप्रूवल नहीं आ रहे हैं
जी।
और ये 3 महीने से एक अप्रूवल नहीं आ रहे, जो अप्रूवल आ रहा है ना अप्रूवल 3 में साइट डाउन पड़ी, क्रैश हुई है और अपडेशन में चल रही है साइट है, उसके बहुत अच्छा रहता है। 12,000 कंपनी हर महीने रजिस्टर होती है प्राइवेट इंडिया में। तो ये है स्टार्टअप्स के डेफिनेशन भारत में आ तो रहा है, बट क्या हो रहा है इम्प्लीमेंट थोड़ा हो रहा है, क्योंकि जो मेन कोर फंडिंग होती है 80% स्टार्टअप फर्स्ट ईयर में ही सर्वाइव करना बंद कर देता है, क्योंकि वो प्लान तो होता है बट एग्जीक्यूशन के लिए फंड चाहिए होता है। और फंड की मैं डेफिनेशन आपको दे दी अकॉर्डिंग टू गवर्नमेंट, अकॉर्डिंग टू बैंक। बाकी और भी क्वेश्चन है आपको स्टार्टअप्स को लेके।
द यूनिकॉर्न
सर वो तो चलेगा ना, 100 करोड़ से ऊपर हो गए तो बन गए अभी।
दे शुड बी स्टार्टअप विदिन शॉर्ट
अर्ली स्टेज, जब 10 करोड़ 10 साल वाला और क्रॉस किया और जब 100 करोड़ तो बन गया आप यूनिकॉर्न, अब आप आ जाइए, ये यूनिकॉर्न है। तो उसमें बढ़ा गया, तो उस लेवल पे जाने के बाद फिर आपको लगता है कि हाँ आपने क्या ऑटोमेटिक प्रोसेस रेडी कर दिया, आपके पास वर्कफोर्स पीछे आ गया, एक टेक्नोलॉजी पीछे आ गई। अब आपने क्या किया, जहाँ पे हम 1 to 1 इंटरेक्ट होते थे, वहां पे पूरा हैंड इंटरेक्ट हो रहा है, मतलब कई सारे ब्रेन लगे हुए हैं आपको उस पॉइंट पे चलने के बाद, तो फिर वो सक्सेस आता है। तो स्टार्टअप में अर्ली स्टेज में तो बड़ा चैलेंज है, सुनने में ही बड़ा अच्छा लगता है वो, बट
Exactly. That I want to listen.
बहुत चैलेंज है। आप सोचिए, एक नेम पहले यूनिक होना चाहिए, फिर ट्रेडमार्क को मिलना चाहिए। 45 क्लास ट्रेडमार्क की क्लासेज है, फिर ट्रेडमार्क जब मिलेगा आपको, तो उसके बाद आपका बिजनेस आइडिया पेटेंट भी लाना पड़ेगा, क्या पता वो चोरी ना कर ले, क्योंकि वही सस्टेन वाली बात है कि मेरा ही लेके चला गया तो मैं क्या कर पाऊंगा। बिजनेस मॉडल ऐसा होना चाहिए। आज की डेट में यूजर का टेस्ट बिहेवियर बहुत जल्दी चेंज हो रहा है। अब स्विगी पे नहीं, चल जोमेटो में गाने छोड़ रखी हूँ, स्विगी बता दूँ, आपके फोन में वही ऐप होगा जो सबसे ज्यादा यूज होगा, जैसे पेटीएम, क्योंकि बहुत कुछ ऑप्शन है उसके अंदर। बट मेरे हिसाब में स्नैपडील होगा आपके पास, अमेजोन ऐप भी बहुत कम होंगे, क्योंकि पेटीएम सब कुछ दे रहा है, बुकिंग टिकट दे रहा है, यूपीआई पेमेंट कर रहा है, सब कुछ कर रहा है। उसको देखते हुए व्हाट्सएप पे पेमेंट लेके आएगी, भाई मेरे यूजर ना चले जाए।
चला नहीं आ गया।
अब देख रहे क्यों मार्केट कवर कर ली ना। आप सोचिए मार्केट किसके पास है, यूजर। आप सोचिए 70% मार्केट पेटीएम के पास आज की डेट में है, फिर उसके बाद गूगल पे, फोन पे, क्यों, और वो सारी फैसिलिटी दे रहे हैं। मतलब मुझे नहीं पता, शायद दुकान फोन रिचार्ज कराने जाते होंगे, आप खुद ही ऑनलाइन कर देते होंगे, या पोस्ट पेड हो तो पोस्ट पे ऑनलाइन पे कर देते, डीटीएच रिचार्ज घर बैठे। तो टेक्नोलॉजी कितना सारा बिजनेस लॉस है। टेक्नोलॉजी सबसे बड़ा इजी एग्जांपल है। आप सोचिए कि पहले आपने देखा होगा, जब आप मार्केट में जाते होंगे तो कैश और कार्ड, ये दो ऑप्शन थे आपके पास। आज मुझे लग रहा है कि कैश कम हो गया, कार्ड खत्म हो गया, यूपीआई आ गया है। ये टेक्नोलॉजी तो है यूपीआई, और क्या है टेक्नोलॉजी। मास्टर वीजा भी था, बट मास्टर वीजा में 1 या 2% सरचार्ज करता था द मोड ऑफ ट्रांजेक्शन फीस, वो या तो बायर बियर करेगा या तो सेलर बियर करेगा। तो अब सिर्फ यूपीआई के ही आने से, और वो यूपीआई फ्री हो गया, तो डायरेक्ट अकाउंट में जा रहा है। तो अब एक टेक्नोलॉजी सबसे बेस्ट और सिंपल एग्जांपल है कि आप सोचिए एक बिजनेसमैन को भी 2% पैसा बचता है, और बहुत बड़ा अमाउंट होता है, करीब 782 करोड़ ट्रांजेक्शन पर ईयर है।
पेटीएम और
नो, टोटल यूपीआई ट्रांजेक्शन इन इंडिया। ये 2021 का बता रहा हूँ मैं आपको, 22 का तो भी आया नहीं है। और आप सोचिए, और इसका, और ये सबसे बड़ा एक विभाग है कि इसका जो डाटाबेस, जो बैंक है, वो आउट ऑफ इंडिया है इस सभी यूपीआई ट्रांजेक्शन का। और ये हाल के लास्ट में गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया नोटिफिकेशन दिया था कि आप 24 आवर्स में डाटा रेज कीजिए, यहाँ कॉपी करके यहाँ रखिए, क्योंकि वो बाइफरकेट करते हैं कैटेगरी में, क्या कौन कितना ज्यादा यूजर पे कर रहा है। तो ये टेक्नोलॉजी एग्जांपल है। तो मैं बस इतना ही कहना चाहूंगा। थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू सो मच।
These are some of my research publications. If you want to refer, these are all on Industry 4.0, circular economy and net zero. So if anyone has any doubt or anyone wants to discuss something, I will be happy to answer your question.
Yes, any question? Yes, one question.
How can we access these resources? So for access, actually these are all paid ones because it is subscribed by Scoopus database. So if you want to access this, I can mail you. You can write a mail to me. I will revert you back. Okay. Auto payment, actually they are asking for a huge money. Therefore, one research article they are asking around $40-50. So it is some 5,000 or 4,000. I think it is high cost. So in that case, what you can do is you can write a mail to me, or you can take my number. We can discuss, and I will share you my article. Your details are with them, right? Yes, yes. Otherwise, I will give. Just answer.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Panditji, for giving brief insight about our startups and all, and the concepts, real concepts in the terms of revenue. Very nicely explained. Thank you, sir. Now it's a high time to felicitate our keynote speakers, and I would like to call our first speaker, Chakit Swaroop ji, to come on the stage. And for the moment, I'd like to call Dr. Sangeeta Chaturvedi ji. And for the soul, I would like to call Dr. Vinay Kumar sir. Please felicitate. Please give a big round of applause to both of them, please. Please give a big hand to. And soul by Vinay sir. Thank you, sir. Now I'd like to call our
एक हाथ लगाइए आप भी थोड़ा आइए साथ में आइए
जरा नहीं इस साइड आइए।
इस साइड।
Thank you, sir. Now I'd like to call our next speaker, Avinash sir. Please come on the stage. And for the memento, CMA Madhuri Kashyap ji. And for this all, Dr. Vinay Kumar sir. Please come on the stage and facilitate our speaker. Please give a big hand to him.
इधर आ जाइए सर आप भी हाथ लगा लीजिए
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now I'd like to call our next speaker, Naveen sir, to please come on the stage. And for the memento, Sri Vinod Rana ji. And for the shawl, Dr. Vinay Kumar sir. Please give a big hand to him, please. Thank you, everyone.
एक बार सर एक बार जी एक बार होल्ड कर लीजिए सर टॉपिक को जी
Thank you, sir. Tomorrow we have another. I would like to call Vishnu ji. Please come on the dais. Vinay sir, please felicitate him with memento and shawl. Please give a big hand to him. So tomorrow we have another event. And we have international guests, international speakers, Japan, Singapore, Bangalore, Hyderabad. So please be online, that is online, that time is from 1 to 4. It's time for me to, please felicitate me, please give a big round of applause to me. Thank you, sir. So thank you, sir. Now it's time for high tea. So now we can disperse from here and we'll